Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Hollywood's woke agendas and overrepresentation of characters in TV shows and movies, specifically gay, etc. characters in TV shows and movies that make no fucking sense. And it's GLAAD's 50% representation push is what it is right now. When you don't have 50% of fucking Americans being gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, whatever the case be, dude. And that's the problem right there, right? It's the overrepresentation crap like that, dude. It makes no sense at all. And you have people who, are going to keep pushing these agendas, what it is, dude, until we're like, fuck you, get the hell out of here. And their shit falls flat on its face is what it is. And you end up having to lose a fuck ton of money from studios because people are not going to sit there and watch this crap anymore is what it is, dude. And specifically, going by what I was talking about in the comment thing underbar there, we're going to discuss, basically do a little bit of a review for both Wolfpack Episode 1 and the new film Candyland that came out a few months ago, I guess. So basically, you had characters in both series that were gay. In one being the show Wolfpack, it made no fucking sense because it was clearly just shoehorned in there and stuff like that. Whereas in the movie Candyland, it totally made sense is what it was. And I'm perfectly fine with that kind of stuff, dude, and do it the right way is what it is, dude. And that's the problem, though. Hollywood doesn't understand the right way to do it without basically looking like it's shoehorned in there. Because most of the time, it is shoehorned in there, dude, because it makes no sense. It provides literally nothing for the overall story arc of the series or the movie or whatever it's going to be, dude. And you're just shoehorning in a fucking character or a story arc, whatever it is, dude. That's not even really a story arc. It's basically like a minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, whatever it is, little scene or something that makes zero fucking sense because all you're trying to do is push an agenda for people like GLAAD. Whereas meanwhile, a movie like Candyland, that was actually pretty decent, by the way. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was like, I would say it was definitely like a B-list movie. It was definitely like an old B movie is what it was, dude. And the thing of it was, you had one of the characters in there who was a man, obviously, and his entire character arc was basically he was a gay truck stop sex worker. Like, that makes sense to me, right? Because you actually have like that being the person's story arc, and so that representation itself actually makes sense because it's like, yes, that would be a line of work, especially in the 1990s, that you would fucking get into back in those days, dude. Like, if you were some dude or whatever that needed money or something like that, like 70s, 80s, 90s, somewhere in there, and you were running, you were like a, runaway or whatever, teenage runaway or something like that. That's what you would do to make money. You would literally sell your body for money, and it's the same thing with a lot of them teenage girls back in them days as well, did that runaways and shit in the 70s, 80s, etc. Unfortunately, when you were those people back in like 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff, you had the very good chance in this country of running into a serial killer in this nation. It's how that piece of shit Gary Ridgway was able to kill so many people as a Green River Killer then, back in like the 70s and like the 90s and stuff like that, was because you actually had him targeting people, these vulnerable chicks is what it was in most cases, who were out there, just looking for a few dollars and stuff like that, prostituting themselves is what it was. And so you ended up having those people end up running into this serial killing piece of shit, not even realizing it, thinking he was just some good dude or whatever, was giving them a free ride or whatever it was to someplace. And then, yeah, they fucked him and he killed them is what it was, dude. And the fucked up part about Ridgway in general, dude, was that he sat there for legitimately fucking decades being able to get away with his crimes because, unfortunately, back in those days, 70s, 80s, etc., you didn't have the forensics that we have nowadays. You don't have that kind of, touch DNA or anything else like that is what it was back in them days. Or you didn't have like DNA evidence at all, really, is what it was until the early 90s is what it was there in like 96, 97, 98, somewhere in there. And it wasn't then until like 2000s, like 2004, 2005, whatever it was, and they finally caught that guy because of that reasoning, dude. And it was up until like pretty much the day that they caught his ass that he was killing people then, dude. And it's fucking crazy because when you look at that dude's body count, it's like 100 plus women at this point, dude. And half of them they never even found. And they never will find because the guy's fucking memory is shot to shit. And so you just have bones in the fucking woods in different places across this country, different states and stuff like that, dude, is what it is. In various woodland areas by creeks and stuff. So yeah, it's just fucked up in general. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that obviously, correlating back around to the whole Candyland movie, gay truck stop thing and stuff like that, you have a character there whose arc actually makes sense. It actually makes sense to have gay representation there, because you have a person who is like obviously in that kind of a situation where they would have to be put into that kind of situation. And it's not only in some cases, actually, it's showing, because honestly, if you look at that movie and stuff like that, for the most part of it, at least the first half of it anyway, they did a very good job of portraying these people that were the sex workers in this, because they weren't portraying them as like, oh, they're just, scumbag throwaway people and stuff like that, or scumbag throwaway characters, or whatever the case be. It was like, no, these are legit, okay people, basically. And they just happen to be in this line of work and stuff like that because they have, no other choice, or whatever the case be, or this choice pays more money than like a regular 9-to-5 would, what it was, dude. And it gives them the opportunity to basically have kind of empowerment in some cases, is what it is. And my biggest thing about that is that when you're showing not only the empowerment, but then vulnerability in scenes throughout that film and stuff like that, with particularly this gay character guy, that is this Levi character, you have, the empowerment, the vulnerability, and then the empowerment again is what it is, dude, because it's basically you have the empowerment of him, choosing his line of work, choosing his lifestyle, etc., and how he wants to make money. And then you have the vulnerability of an actual, what scene that sometimes would happen in those time periods, and still happens today and stuff like that with some of these people, is what it is, dude. It doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, or anything else for that matter, dude. It just happens, I'm not going to say what it is on camera right now, but it starts with a G and ends with starts with an R and ends with an E, has an A and a P in it. And then you basically have him, doing what needs to be done to deal with that person that was, fucking on him, is what it was, dude. And the thing is that, again, shows empowerment there, dude. It's like, no, you dealt with your attacker, is what it was, dude, in that situation. Whereas meanwhile, going to, full circle back to the Wolfpack series, which is basically a Teen Wolf spinoff, if I'm not mistaken. The issue there is you have characters who are legitimately. So here's the issue I have with that Wolfpack series. You have a great show between minute 0 and minute roughly 28 in that series so far. And it's essentially, you have story arcs playing out. You have kids obviously being bitten by a werewolf, is what it was. And then all of a sudden you have this character introduced at some rave or whatever the case be. And now it's just like, okay, now this dude just goes and has a gay hookup with some other dude, is what it is, dude. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with werewolves? What the fuck does that have to do with any fucking plot line up to that point in that series? Oh yeah, it doesn't. It's just fucking Hollywood trying to push woke ass bullshit, is what it is, dude. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I guarantee I'm not the only one out here, dude. I know for a fact. I've talked to people about the situation, dude, and they are just as fed up with as I am at this point, dude. And that's why you're seeing Hollywood's fucking stocks just tank like that, dude. That's why you're seeing all these woke ass movies just go right down the fucking shitter, is what it is, dude. Because people don't want to have that fucking shit pushed in their fucking faces, is what it is, dude. And it's like, again, it's one thing if it actually is a part of a fucking storyline that makes sense. It's a whole other thing when you're pushing it and shoehorning it into something where it makes no sense at all. It's the same exact shit I've talked about in multiple reviews when I talked about the 1923 series for the Yellowstone spinoff right now, dude. You have so many shows in that one where the entire fucking story arc so far of the Native American chick in that one is basically her beating the shit out of nuns and nuns beating the shit out of her. And it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the Dutton family? What the fuck does that have to do with the cowboy time period of the 1920s at all? Oh yeah, that's right. It doesn't have anything to do with it. You're literally shoehorning in a fucking stupid ass storyline that could be written the fuck off entirely and not even be part of the damn thing. And that's the thing. I would love to know where they're going to go with this at this point, dude, because I'm assuming it's going to be something where she's going to become like some fucking, mother, grandmother to some other character that's in the fucking present right now in the actual Yellowstone series, like maybe like Thomas Rainwater or somebody like that is what it is, dude. But that's the point entirely, is we don't know that yet. And the fact that they have not said a fucking word about who this chick actually even is, and every scene they basically show of her is basically just her like either beating up a nun or beating up like fucking Catholicism is what it is in general, because she's also, fucking attacking priests and shit as well at this point. Or it's all those people attacking her is what it is, dude. Randomly. And it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the other storylines in this fucking series. It has nothing to do with anything, dude. It's just you fucking adding time to an actual show is what it is, dude. It's you shoehorning scenes into a fucking series to pad the fucking runtime. And I'm sick and tired of it, dude. And I'm seriously to the point of like, do I even care about this fucking storyline? Or is every time I watch 1923 now and I see one of those fucking things pop up or whatever, like halfway through it or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and try to skip forward through that entire scene and just go to the rest of the fucking story arc then, dude. Because it really doesn't bring anything to the fucking table, dude. It's just basically a breakup of other better storylines is what it is, dude. And like I said before, with those reviews for that series and stuff like that, it honestly feels like with 1923, you basically have them writing two different shows that just became one series then. And they couldn't figure out how to actually intertwine the fucking shows together as one. So it's like, here's this actual good story of the Dutton family, and here's this fucking retarded story of some Indian reservation and stuff like that. Or not even reservation, some Indian fucking school where they're teaching girls to like become proper young women or whatever it is, dude. That are actual Native American chicks is what it is. And it's like, it makes zero fucking sense, dude. Like, none of it makes any sense at this point, and it's just fucking retarded brutality for the sake of retarded brutality is what it is, dude. So, yeah, it's very fucking frustrating entirely, is what it is, dude. And like I said, I think it's the same thing with the rest of the woke agenda shit, with the fucking, you know, unnecessary gay stuff in that Wolfpack show so far, and just like all these other shows like that, dude, where it's like Chucky is another great one example of that, dude. Like the whole Chucky series right now, right? So you have a series about a fucking killer doll that now somehow it's like two fucking 12, 13, 14-year-old males being gay lovers and shit like that at some point in the first season and continue on through the second season and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck does gay kids have to do with a fucking killer doll? Nothing. That's the entire fucking point. Better yet, what the fuck do gay M&Ms have to do with a fucking candy company? You know, it's the same shit there, dude. You gotta go back to fucking M&M's shit like that, dude. You had them introducing like some gay character, whatever the case be, dude. Where it's like, you are a fucking candy company, Mars Inc. Sell me some fucking candy and shut the fuck up about political bullshit. Seriously. And there was one a few years ago even, too, for that matter. It was like a Brazilian fucking thing like that, where it was basically some Sprite commercial, and the entire commercial, to start out with and to end, was basically about some person being like a drag queen in some fucking random-ass gay pride parade. And it's like, what the fuck does a gay pride parade have to do with a fucking drink company? Nothing. That's the entire fucking point. It's a bunch of fucking shitheads who have been hired on to be either directors or fucking commercial writers or TV show writers, or whatever the hell it is, dude, that are trying to push an unnecessary agenda into our fucking society, dude. And that's why you're seeing so much of this stuff tank. It's why you're seeing so much of this backlash that they're then sitting there calling like bigotry or fucking hate or whatever the fuck it is, dude, at that point. And it's not. It's not at all. It's fucking just, we're sick of it is what it is, dude. Like, that's what it is. Honestly. Like, it's not we hate you people at all, dude. It's that we hate the fucking shit being shoved down our goddamn throats at this point is what it is, man. And that's what the real truth of it is, man. It's like we're sick and tired of seeing overrepresentation at this point is what it is, man. You know? Like, it makes sense, honestly, to have, like, you know, one or two shows out there where you would have, like, a gay lead, or you'd have, like, a lesbian lead, or a transgender lead, or whatever it is, dude. But it's not every fucking series that needs that shit shoved into it is what it is, man. That's the problem with Hollywood right now. They're trying to shove it into everything now. And I believe the truth of the matter is, it's because they're trying to do that as a distract for everybody away from the fact that they're over there fucking raping kids. Legitimately, dude. They are molesting children all over Hollywood. There was a great documentary about 4 or 5 years ago now called An Open Secret, and it talked about Bryan Singer, Brian Peck, Brock Pierce. Obviously, Bryan Singer is the director. He was the director of X-Men movies and stuff like that. Brian Peck was another pedophile who was actually a convicted child molester, who ended up having a bunch of stuff happen and basically got out of prison, went back on the sets with kids and stuff like that. It talked about, I believe it was Dan Schrader or Schroeder, that guy's name was what it was, the guy that was the old guy and all that and shit like that, who was also a child molester. He definitely molested Ariana Grande and some other people and stuff like that, dude. And Brock Pierce, who was a child actor, he was the kid in the movie First Kid. He was also the young Gordon Bombay in the Mighty Ducks movies in the 90s and a few other things. So Pierce, Zinger, Peck, and I think there was like a fourth guy, if I'm not mistaken, had all apparently come together in the late 90s and stuff like that and had like some kind of weird fucking like rendezvous house that they had built or bought or whatever it was, dude. And it was basically some weird fucked up pad that they were able to lure these young teen males to and molest them. And it's the same shit like with Dan Schrader and stuff like that, dude, or Schroeder, however that's that guy's name. It's like that piece of shit, dude. He did the same exact stuff there in Hollywood, and you had all these producers and stuff do it too as well. You had all these managers and stuff like that do it too as well. And sadly, if you're a young male in Hollywood that's trying to get a big break or whatever, dude, if you're between basically 4, 5, 6 years old, whatever it is, dude, like young child actor to like late teens and stuff like that, almost 18 is what it is, dude. You have a very high likelihood, like 80% chance of being the victim of a fucking pedophile in that shithole fucking city of Hollywood is what it is in California. And it's disgusting, dude. And it's something people don't want to talk about. And that's exactly why I'll talk about it, dude, because it's fucking disgusting. It's sickening is what it is, man. And the problem is, again, going back to the whole, overrepresentation thing, it's them trying to get people now who are younger, who are, whatever year age is what it was, to portray these characters so that they would then be able to then groom these kids and be like, oh, you're okay with doing this scene, so let me go ahead and take you back to this trailer now and do some stuff or whatever, dude. And that's the entire problem right now, dude. And so, of course, they're going to do this overrepresentation and stuff like that in these different series and stuff like that, these different movies and shit like that, dude. Because they're going to try to distract you away from the fact that they're over there actual fucking creepy-ass pedophiles, child molesters, etc., preying upon children. And I think that's the biggest problem right now, dude. And it's exactly why you're seeing all these woke agenda-ass things flop like that. It's exactly why that stupid Velma series is one of the biggest fucking shit shows out there currently. All right, sorry about that. Kind of got off track there. Fucking internet decided to take a shit on me for a minute there. So basically, as I was saying, though, when it comes to Hollywood, like that new Velma series and stuff like that, I couldn't even get through like fucking 5 minutes of that piece of shit without it being so retarded. I just wanted to be like, nah, man, this is fucking, I'm done with this shit, dude, is what it is. And I think that's what most of the people are nowadays, dude. You have so many Americans and so many people worldwide, for that matter, that'll sit there and sit down and try to watch a show and be entertained by it. And it's like, you start pushing these agendas and they're just like, click, click, turn off the computer, turn off the TV, do whatever you have to do, man. And you will basically end up in a situation then where you have just everybody tuning out is what it is, dude. And then people wonder like why you have Hollywood and these studios and stuff like that, movie companies, whatever it is, movie companies, TV shows and stuff like that, different production companies and stuff across the board is what it is, losing billions and billions of dollars a year is what it is, dude. And then of course you have like a different, movie or whatever the case be, like a Top Gun Maverick and stuff like that does like crazy high money at the box office and stuff. And it's like, it makes sense, dude, because you're not pushing fucking agendas. You're not pushing like woke agendas on people. You're not trying to overrepresentation of some fucking character class or whatever it is, dude. You're just telling a good story is what it is. And I think that's the real problem is Hollywood has forgotten that, dude, because again, they're too busy out there fucking molesting on children and stuff like that than actually willing to sit down and write an actual good series is what it is, dude. It's why you're seeing so many different things now when it comes to people who what the hell was I going to say now? When it comes to people basically recycling everything, and that's what it really is. You have people that'll be recycling fucking everything and doing like reboots or remakes or whatever it is now, dude, because again, they don't have an original thought in their heads, because where are their heads? Buried straight up their asses in most cases, dude. Or each other's asses for that matter is what it is, man. And yeah, it's just like this giant shit show of just fucking garbage is what it is, man. So anyway, I don't know. I think there's a lot wrong with what we've seen in Hollywood in the last 5-10 years, honestly. Maybe more like 20 years, honestly, is what it really is. 20, 25, that matter. And I don't think it's getting any better. And I think it's going to be, I believe we're definitely heading for a very dark time in this country's history is what it is. And I think, honestly, Hollywood will finally get what's coming to them for the most part when shit does finally fall is what it is. And I think you're finally going to have people just take it back and be like, no, fuck you, man. And it's also why, when you have different, like all these people that are being canceled by Hollywood, like all these different actors and stuff like that, like your Antonio Sabato Jr.'s, your Gina Carano's and stuff like that, they'll then get picked up by like a Daily Wire or start their own companies, whatever it is, dude. And it'll be like some like Pure Flix kind of deal or some like, hey, we're just going to make like good movies and kind of stuff like that is what it is, dude. And that's the thing. Like, you can make a good movie without having it be like some kind of fucking woke shit fest is what it is, dude. Actually, one of the best movies that was made in the past, I would say 5-10 years right now, was that movie Run, Hide, Fight. And it was because it did not do woke agendas. The entire fucking plot of the entire movie was about some chick who was trying to stop an active school shooting and did what she needed to do using the skill set that her father had taught her using the Second Amendment to do so very well. And that's why it was such a good show. That's why it was such a good movie, honestly. And it did not hurt, actually, that you had a, I think it was like 18, 19 year old version of the chick from 1883 and stuff like that, dude. The one that played Elsa. I forget her name is offhand. But yeah, it was that actress chick. And by the way, that girl is smoking hot, man. But the entire point was, it's like, yeah, you had her basically doing what she needed to do, and that shit is what it is, dude. And that's why you have people who are just like, no, these are actually good movies, what it is, dude. I mean, hell, even like looking back at the Fear Street trilogy they did here in the last couple years as well, dude. Like, I think there was like a little, like there was like a teeny little bit of like sort of like woke agenda stuff in that, which was more or less just like, I don't really think it was like gay representation person. Well, actually, no, I guess I think about it, there was a little bit of gay shit in there as well, and that first one anyway. But it wasn't really like gay stuff per se. It was more like sort of like racial, is the way I'd say it best, where it didn't need to be. And I'll basically leave it that's what it is. The entire point is, other than that, though, you had a great fucking set of films there, dude. You had a fucking amazing. Actually, no. Now I'm thinking about it. It was the first movie, and it was really the third movie, actually, where it pushed like a big, like, oh, these two girls are like together kind of thing is what it is, dude. And the thing with that was, though, other than that, though, those were great fucking films, dude. And even in that vein of things, like looking back at like going full circle back to the Candyland thing I mentioned earlier on in this episode, you have a sort of a similar deal there is what it is, where you have the character arc of the old, Puritan time period and stuff like that, where it was basically like two girls like hooking up kind of thing or whatever, dude. That would pretty much get you killed then if they found out about it and stuff. Because again, those Puritan people were fucking nuts, is what it was back in them days, dude. Legitimately, like the whole Salem witch trials thing was a big fucking hoax is what it was, dude, really. And it was them just trying to like basically destroy the Empire is what it was, dude. People that they thought were Empire is what it was, even though they were like some of the biggest, like worst fucking people in the world is what it is, dude, honestly. And the entire thing of the matter is that you have a situation where even that story arc in of itself with like some like lesbian love affair or whatever you want to call it there, even that made sense. Even that itself made sense. And that would be like, again, like the one of a few times or whatever throughout a year that you would actually want to portray something like that in like a film series or like a movie, in a film or like a different TV series, whatever it is, dude, doesn't matter, honestly. But like that would be one of the few times where it would actually make sense for that whole representation is what it is, dude. Whereas meanwhile, it doesn't have to be in every fucking thing across the board. And actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't just the old time period as well. What I was thinking about with the gay stuff, I was thinking about the one dude in the Fear Street movies and stuff like that. But I didn't realize I was thinking about now that you had two females as well in the current time period in those movies that were also supposed to be gay together is what it was. And the thing of it was, though, it's like, okay, so you have like a little bit of that shit in there or whatever. It's like, okay, that still technically does, sort of progress the storyline. Even like, potentially hookup scenes and stuff like that still progress the storyline because your storyline is essentially you are trying to get away from fucking killers and stuff like that. You have like a little bit of time or whatever. It's like, okay, how are you going to spend your last like 2 hours on Earth basically is what it is. Oh, let's actually hook up for the first time is what it is then, dude, which makes sense, honestly, And then from there, it goes to back to like, okay, we had our little fun time and stuff like that. Now let's get back to work and try to like save these people is what it is, dude. And that's exactly what the movie is about, basically, is what it is, dude. And it portrays it very well, is what it is. The issue comes down to being the fact that when it's not portrayed well, or when it's not making sense for it to even be there, that's the issue that you have, and that's the issue where you start getting pushback from the fucking fan bases. That's where you start getting pushback from the actual consumer basis is what it is, dude. And I think that's the problem with Hollywood right now. They don't understand that, or they don't care to actually understand that. And so they'll just double down on their own stupidity is what it is, dude. And then when they fucking, fall straight on their sword and stuff like that and impale themselves and shit, then they wonder like, oh, how could we not see this coming? And it's like, you've been told for like a decade to stop it, man. To just knock it the fuck off. And you hadn't listened. And then you wonder why you're losing X amount of money is what it is, dude. You wonder why your fucking ratings are in the shitter in almost every fucking category across the board. And then you wonder why people are like, we're going to go crave alternatives and stuff like that. And you actually have the alternatives produced properly and not push your fucking woke agenda bullshit. And they actually do very well because of that. It's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to fucking figure it out, dude. It just takes a fucking sane person to be like, hey, maybe doing the definition of insanity and committing the same shit over and over again isn't the way we should be doing this. Let's do something different. And it will actually succeed for you. And you'll actually make money, So, I don't know. It's just very irritating either way. Really, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that Wolfpack series and the Candyland movie a little bit is what it was, dude, because it's kind of been on my mind since I watched both in the last day or so here. And, yeah, to me, it's just fucking stupid that you have people who just don't get it is what it is, man. You have people who want to sit there and continue to push bullshit agendas when there is no fucking reasoning behind such an agenda is what it is. Like, it makes zero sense at all, man. And I think that's the biggest problem right now. You have so many individuals pushing just retardation is what it is, dude. And not understanding that the retarded bullshit is what's causing the problem. So, anyway, I got some stuff I got to do in game. So, this is pretty much what we're going to end here anyway. So, plus, I know my internet went to shit a little bit ago, so I don't really want to have it fuck up again before I end this off. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it now at the roughly half-hour mark here, and then we will come back for another one at some point in the future. I'll be on Mad Marks, mark my words, tomorrow for the technical third episode according to him, but really it's the fourth episode because I've done one for him. which is whatever. I don't really give a fuck at this point. If he wants to call it third episode, he can call it third episode. Doesn't bother me any. So, but just for clarity's sake, there was an episode 2 that I did, and then he made his own episode 2 after that then, so it was whatever. But, yeah, it's just funny. So, anyways, sorry, I'm trying to collect, stuff right now in this game. There, get that. Grab this. Grab those. But yeah, so the real problem comes down to being the fact that you have people who do not understand. Like, they act like they want to understand, but they don't understand is what it is. And I think that's the biggest problem right now, is that you have those individuals being the ones who will continue to push the agendas continuously until they basically can't push them anymore is what it is, you know? And unfortunately, the further that we go down this rabbit hole, the worse it's going to get before it gets better. And I think that's the problem nobody realizes, dude, is eventually you're going to have a crux, you're going to have a breaking point among the populace and stuff like that, where eventually it's going to be, you just don't exist anymore as an entity is what it is, dude. Like, you're just going to go belly up and bankrupt and stuff like that is what it'll be. So, yeah, that to me, you know, I'm just giving a warning to the people in Hollywood right now, dude. Like, just get back to normal shit, dude, for real. And you'll be way better off in the long run. You know, just give the fan bases what we actually want, dude. Things that we'll actually watch, and don't be inserting like dumbass agendas into it, dude. Just have it be like a good show, you know. And yeah, if there happens to be like a character in it that makes sense to have it be, you know, gay or whatever the case be, then so be it, you know. But at least make it work, you know. At least make the storyline believable is what it is, dude. And it's not believable when it's just like random hookups and stuff like that, dude. It's just like, nah, bro, like, have it be like a long-term thing or whatever, you know? Like, have it make actual sense from that perspective of things. Like, don't have it be some stupid bullshit where it's like, oh, we don't understand how to actually fucking write properly, so let's just write some stupid retarded bullshit is what it is, dude. And I think that's where a lot of it's coming from, dude. I know for a fact that's where a lot of my issues are coming from in general from these people, dude. It's like, you're not spending the time to actually do the work is what it is. And you're expecting people to basically look at your half-assed attempt to do something as like, oh, this is perfectly acceptable. Da, 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 da. It's like, no, it's not, dude. That's the entire point. It's not acceptable. It's never been acceptable. And it's basically just them trying to push retarded bullshit on everybody, dude, is what it is. So, yeah. And a lot of us are just sick of it, man. And that's what it really is at the end of the day. You know? And when the time comes and they finally get their heads out of their asses and everything, dude, I think we'll be much better off as a country then, because you'll actually have, you know, true, good, honest storytelling again is what it is, man. And unfortunately, if you can't do good, honest storytelling, like, what the hell are you trying to do then, man? So, but yeah, it's just, it's very fucking frustrating is what it is, man. It's very frustrating. It's very annoying. And it's unnecessary is what it really comes down to being. It's unnecessary. It makes no sense to do what they're doing unless they're trying to legitimately push some fucked up agenda, which is clearly what their end game is, clearly what their goal is. And it's like, take that shit out of there and fuck yourself is what it is, man. Like, seriously. Other than that, that's where we're at for the day, man. Like, there ain't much more to say about it than that. Because again, like, there really is not much more to say about it, honestly, dude. You have what could be a great series, what could be, you know, great shows and stuff like that are just being, you know, flushed down the fucking toilet to push some stupid ass agenda that doesn't even make any sense, dude. It's like, nah, bro, like, just write a good show and people will watch it, you know? And ironically enough, like, even, like, actually, before we finish off here, dude, going back to the Fosters, right? Like, that was a great series. And what was that about? The entire fucking story arc was about two lesbian women raising a bunch of kids, dude. It wasn't until they legitimately, in the last, like, couple seasons, inserted transgender shit and illegal immigration stupid bullshit that I stopped fucking watching. Like, the thing was, I even watched most of the transgender stuff, dude, because I just kind of thought that I was like, okay, where are they going with this storyline kind of thing? It wasn't until they were pushing, like, illegal immigration crap and, like, anchor baby shit, dude, that I'm like, fuck this show. So it's like, you know, I got no problems watching the fucking, like, lesbian couple and stuff like that, dude, because it's actually a good show up to that point. It's just like, at some point, it just goes way the fuck downhill, and it's like, why the fuck is this even a thing now? Kind of thing, you know? So, yeah, needless to say, like, that's where I'm at with the whole situation, man. And I think that's where a lot of Americans are at, too, for that matter, that we're just like, what the fuck is the point of this kind of thing, you know? So, yeah. Needless to say, it's just fucking frustrating, dude, is what it is. Like, you're trying to do stuff to be entertained. You're not trying to do stuff to be preached at. And I think that's the problem right now, is that Hollywood wants to preach at people about, like, oh, if you don't watch this or you don't want this, like, pushed at your kids or whatever the case be, like, you're just some uppity ass bigot or whatever the case be. And it's like, no, I'm not, dude. I just don't want to watch it because it's fucking stupid is what it is, man. Like, it makes no sense. And that's the entire point. If it doesn't make sense, why would I waste my time watching such a thing? You know? And I think that's the biggest problem that people don't get. It's like, it has nothing to do with anything that you're producing, dude. It has 100, well, sorry. It does have 100% do with what you're producing. It's you're producing trash is what it is, dude. Like, produce a good fucking show and I'll watch your fucking show, man. Actually, one of the better series I watched in the last probably year here, actually, when it comes to random stuff, was the Wednesday series that came out recently. And at first I was like, what the hell is this? And then I realized, oh, okay, it's like a Wednesday Adam kind of deal or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I started watching it. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of interesting, whatever, you know? And then, like, the more I actually watched of it, I'm like, oh, this is pretty interesting, actually. And yeah, like, it was actually a good show, is what it was, dude. And the big thing there wasn't some, like, big ass, like, woke agenda crap being pushed or whatever the case be. To some aspects of things, like, there was a little bit of, like, weird stuff being pushed in or whatever, but, like, again, that was more of just, like, the overall arc of the story and stuff like that being told, not the fucking, like, characters being, like, all wokey and shit like that is what it is, dude. Like, it was more or less just like, okay, here's a bunch of characters, and this is, like, the tropes that they're producing or whatever it is, dude, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever. And that was the entire point of the whole thing. You had just good characters being portrayed as what it was, dude, and you had an interesting fucking storyline overall and stuff like that. Whereas, meanwhile, on the flip side of things, and on the actual flip side of the coin entirely, you just have stupid shit being produced elsewhere, is what it is, dude. That makes no sense, you know? So, yeah. Like I said earlier, like, it goes back to the whole Chucky thing, dude. Like, what the hell does having a couple of gay kids have to do with a killer doll? Nothing. The two things do not interchange, dude. But yet Hollywood, being what they are, pushes that agenda. And then they wonder, like, why people are like, I don't want to watch this fucking show, dude. Like, I actually like the show other than that, dude. Personally, I've watched most of it actually at this point. And with the exception of that stupid ass story arc, like, it's actually a decent show, you know? But again, it's like, what the hell is the point of the gay agenda stuff, dude? And especially when you're targeting kids with it and stuff, dude, you understand what the entire fucking agenda is there. It's them trying to push this shit upon a next generation of children and stuff like that, and trying to confuse kids. And even fucking teachers are making that shit now, dude, where you got fucking supposed educators in this country, indoctrinators in this nation, what they really are at this point in history, who are coming out and being like, oh, our entire fucking storyline here, our entire fucking, you know, agenda at hand is to confuse these kids and stuff like that. It's like, of course it is, dude. That's what we've been calling your asses out about for years now. And you're finally admitting that shit now. So, yeah, it's just fucking frustrating, dude, is what it is. But anyway, like I said, though, that's where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be back, like I said, for another one at some point here in the future. And we'll talk about some other stuff then. We'll probably discuss some more about Ohio when it comes to various politics stuff and whatnot. I just really wanted to take the day off from that kind of shit today and just do something else, do what it is, because, you know, sometimes you actually just got to roll, is what it is, dude. You actually just got to vent for other things, is what it is, dude, because you can't just keep talking about the same shit over and over and over again. And I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of 2A channels and stuff like that on the site is you have those guys basically falling into that trope of like, oh, gotta talk about everything when it comes to Second Amendment stuff or whatever the case being. It's like eventually, you're going to be talking about it like 20, 30, 40, 100 other people are going to be talking about the same exact topic, dude. And it's going to be beat into the fucking ground so much and stuff. You're basically beating a dead horse at that point. And it's like, we've already heard it from like 20 other people, dude. We don't hear it from you too, is what it is, kind of thing, So, yeah. My feeling on the whole thing is it's like, especially to those out there doing like multiple casts a week and stuff based on that shit, dude, like, yes, the Second Amendment should be the baseline. Should it be the end all be all thing? No, because there are other things that correlate very much to the Second Amendment when it comes to topics, whether it be, the schools, whether it be the CRT takeover stuff, dude, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, when you start looking at it, dude, and you start looking at these agendas that these schools are pushing on these kids and stuff like that, dude, it all falls back to the Second Amendment because they're trying to teach these kids to be anti-2A and anti-constitutional is what it is, dude. And that's the entire point. And that's why the Ohio Patriot Education Network is here, dude, to call that shit out is what it is. That's what our job is here to do, man. That's what we are doing through with no funding, no nothing. It's all, mostly just me at this point, doing what needs to be done to ensure that we have a better generation coming up here in the future and not having these kids be all fucked up and stuff like the previous generations were, dude. So, anyway, we need to be making more constitutionalists, not less, is what it is, dude. Seriously. It's like the same thing, actually even going back to touch on what's been happening this weekend with the whole Tyre Nichols thing, dude. Which, my prayers go out to that man's family. They're going to get the justice they deserve 100%. They deserve that justice. Do not taint that man's image, dude. Do not portray, do not sit there and fucking shit all over that man who was murdered by a bunch of cops and try to blame white people when it was a black on black crime, or sit here and try to fucking distract away from the situation and use it to further your own agenda to go be a little asshole piece of shit fucking criminal, go steal shit from every place around the fucking cities and stuff like that, dude. When you got fucking assholes breaking into places like Hibbert Sports and stuff like that, which is a shoe and clothing store, or you're breaking into a fucking GameStop and stealing shit, or fucking just looting fucking random places and stuff like that, dude. No. All you're trying to do is use this poor man's death, this poor man's legitimate fucking murder on camera to justify you being a fucking piece of shit thief, dude. And we're all sick and tired of it, honestly, man. And what's even worse is when you have these assholes blocking fucking traffic across freeways and bridges and shit like that, dude. It's like, you know how you don't get people on your side? By fucking up how they can actually freely travel in a fucking country. That's how they end up being your fucking enemy, dude. You want to stop being a bunch of little shitheads? You want to stop being a bunch of little fucking punk-ass bitches? How about stop being a bunch of little punk-ass bitches? Stop fucking blocking traffic. Stop fucking impeding people's ability to just simply go about their fucking day and take the actual fucking task, do an actual redress of grievances against a fucking government. You want to go fucking go after the cops, dude? You want to fucking, go protest outside fucking police precinct 1 or whatever the fuck it is at that point, You want to go to fucking City Hall and call out the mayor and the fucking police chief and the fucking dumbass fucking governors of these states and stuff like that, dude? By all fucking means, do so. Use your First Amendment. Do a redress for grievances. Have an actual list of fucking shit you're redressing through a fucking tyrannical government, dude. And get the real justice that needs to be fucking done in policing. Get an actual good police reform. And it starts, honestly, by ending qualified immunity. But it doesn't start with passing stupid fucking bullshit like the George Floyd Act that's going to do nothing but fucking give dumbass fucking federal government more power to fucking militarize the police and fuck us over more and fucking take our rights even more, dude. And that's the entire point of the whole fucking matter. If you want to do stuff the correct fucking way, do it the correct fucking way, dude. Address the fucking grievances to a government. Address grievances to the police. Call out real police reform. Do it legitimately peacefully. Don't go out there and fucking smash up fucking storefronts, fucking loot places, fucking burn down businesses that have nothing to do with your fucking overall thing, dude, that aren't gonna get you justice because they have nothing to do with your fucking dumbass fucking bullshit, dude, is what it is. You are attacking a fucking business that has nothing to do at all with the overall situation. You are stopping people on fucking freeways from being able to freely travel that have nothing to do with the overall fucking situation. You want community support? Let the community fucking do what they need to do, man. And I guarantee you, if you're walking down the street, you're walking down a fucking sidewalk, you have a single file line, fucking 50, 60 people deep, dude, whatever the case be, people are going to take notice and be like, hey, what's going on? Somebody in the crowd says, oh, yeah, we're protesting over this man's death. You know, we're taking our redress of grievances to the fucking government here at the state house and shit like that, or we're taking it to the, you know, the Capitol there, whatever it's going to be, dude, the mayor's office, whatever it is there. And I guarantee you, you're going to have them, in some cases specifically, maybe not all cases, but at least probably some, you're going to have some of those people turn their car around, you know, flip it the opposite direction or whatever the case be, and roll with you is what it is, dude. And they're going to basically, you know, go park someplace and probably join in on your fucking protest then. Because they have just as much of a gripe with the government as you do. But that's the entire point, man, is that right now, currently, in 2023, the U.S. government, the fucking state governments, all these other leftist asshole places, all these shitty rhino fucking places, dude, they 100%, their fucking tyrannical agenda is this. They are trying to divide and conquer the fucking races of America right now, dude, and it is working. You are having racial division be pushed at every single level right now since that motherfucker Obama, dude. Since that Marxist piece of shit Obama was in office back in 2008, dude. 2008, 2016, dude. The worst 8 years of this country's history, honestly, dude. Because it was nothing but fucking race-baiting bullshit. It was nothing but anything else like that, dude. Giving fucking BLM terrorism a platform to spew their bullshit. Yet, meanwhile, the same BLM that will go there and be like, oh, well, this guy was killed by cops, so we gotta go fucking protest against the cops, won't say a fucking word, won't protest for a fucking second when it's a fucking 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5-year-old kid getting fucking murdered in a damn drive-by, dude, in a major city. They won't lift a fucking finger. They won't say a fucking word about that shit, dude, because they don't give a fuck is what it is, dude. Because, again, it does not further their agenda, where their entire agenda is to go fucking rob businesses, to go commit criminal acts, and be nothing better than the fucking piece of shit cops who murdered Tyree Nichols, dude. You know what I saw? You know what I saw from that fucking video footage myself, dude? I saw a bunch of motherfucking pieces of shit from the hood who had fucking badges on, dude. That's what I saw. You look at any fucking ghetto area around this country right now, dude, and any given weekend, any given weekday for that matter, even, man, any night of the week, dude, you can have some dude walking back home, fucking 4 or 5 guys jump out of nowhere and fucking start jumping this dude. That's exactly what happened with those fucking police, dude. It was nothing more than that. The difference was that they had uniforms and badges on. And yeah, there is a huge fucking problem with policing in this country, and it starts with qualified immunity, dude. And it's something that needs to be done away with in this country right now, dude. There are way too many fucking piece of shit cops out there getting away with fucking murder, getting away with all kinds of fucking criminal acts because of qualified immunity, dude. And that is where the police reform needs to start in this nation, dude. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, man. I have tried to run for office in the past, dude. The platform I was running on is the same platform I would run on again in the future, honestly. And it's basically, we do police reform the right way, which is demilitarize the cops. You don't need a militarized police force walking around, rolling around in fucking MRAPs with fucking full auto fucking barriered plate windows and everything else like that on them, dude. And rolling up on a house or whatever the case be. No. You need to have cops get off their lazy fucking asses, get out of their fucking squad cars, and start walking beats again, dude. Get to know the fucking people in the neighborhoods that they're patrolling. That's what it needs to be right now, dude. And I guarantee you, if something pops off, if some motherfucker comes out of nowhere and starts shooting the block up or starts killing a bunch of fucking kids in the area or whatever the case be, dude, and some fucking drive-by or whatever, you're going to have the community come together and be like, hey, officer, you know, insert whatever the fuck name here. This is who did that shit. This is the gang that needs to be taken out here, man. And a lot of it, honestly, if you want to go back to root cause stuff, dude, it goes back to something I've talked about on this channel for at least the past 3 years now, which is fatherless homes. It's always been that way, dude. It's been incentivized since the fucking 60s and the 70s. Oh, you don't have a father in the house? Oh, here's a bunch of fucking food stamps. Here's a bunch of EBT. Here's a bunch of fucking cash assistance, etc. You know what's fucked up? I'm going to tell you guys what's fucked up right now. I, as a single male in the state of Ohio currently, dude, do not qualify for EBT because I do not have any dependents, because I don't have any kids at all for that matter. Yet if I was a fucking woman, with or without kids, I'd qualify. But with kids, I would qualify for so much more is what it is, dude. But yet, because I'm an able-bodied male, even though I'm really not, because the way my back is anymore, I don't qualify, according to their bullshit. But yet, if I was a pregnant woman, I would totally qualify. What the hell kind of fucking gendered bullshit is that, dude? It's fucked up is what it is. It's really fucked up is what it is, man. And it's ridiculous is what it really comes down to being, man. You know? And it's infuriating is what it is, man, honestly. Like across the board, you know? Now, granted, do I really want to ask for handouts from a fucking government? No, I don't, dude. That's the entire point. With the way that my current fucking health is with my back and everything else like that, dude, can I physically work a 9 to 5 every single day of the week? Fuck no, I can't. If I could do anything, it would have to be like a work from home thing on a computer or something like that, probably for a few days a week or something like that, dude. That's if I can even find that kind of position, which I can't usually because, again, these places are few and far between. The ones that do exist, it's really hard to wade through the fucking scam ones, dude, is what it is. So, anyway. But yeah, it's just a bunch of shit all the way around, dude. And like I said, the real problem is it goes back to the fatherless home thing, dude. When you have fathers taken out of the household, when you have the Hollywood going back full circle, honestly, Hollywood influence stuff, dude, and all these TV shows and stuff like that, because that does kind of tie in here at the end of here, and honestly. You got all this fucking influence from Hollywood and stuff like that, dude, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, you don't gotta be like some fucking whatever. You can totally be that independent woman, be that fucking solo supporter and stuff like that, dude. It's like, that's all well and good. If it's actually the truth, which is sorry, internet dipped again. But yeah, what they would never tell them actually is that yeah, you can have it all. You just can't have it all at the same time is what it is, man. Like they can have a fucking family, they can have a bunch of kids and stuff like that, dude. They can have a career and stuff like that as a woman. It's just not going to be all at the same time, dude. And yes, you need to have kids first, is what it is, dude. You need to have kids while you're still fertile enough to have children. And then after that, you should be working. You know, when the kids are off at schools or they're off at wherever, you know, you should be out there in the workforce again, doing what needs to be done. And if you can actually do like homeschooling of kids and teach them from home and stuff like that, and maybe even have like a sort of a 9 to 5 or whatever the case be, even better, dude. You know, there's a lot. I've met a lot of women, honestly, when I was still selling Tupperware and stuff like that, dude, where a lot of them were moms, dude. They were mothers in the daytime teaching their kids homeschooling and stuff like that is what it was, dude. And then when the kids were at home or when they had gone to bed at night or whatever, like 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, whatever it was then, dude, they would then jump on wherever and start hosting a party for Tupperware or something like that, dude, or start setting up something for Tupperware for that weekend is what it was, dude. So it is possible. It is possible to do it all, man. But the thing of it is, it's like you really have to be dedicated to do that stuff, dude, is what it is. And you really have to be that driven person, that driven individual, that driven female to be able to do that stuff, dude. And unfortunately, in the most cases, that's not what our society's like anymore, dude. It's people that just want everything now is what it is. without having to work for it. And it's disgusting, dude. And I'm not saying just women at that point, dude. I'm saying all across the board, women and men both at that one, dude. It's just entitlement generation that is worse, dude. I actually saw something the other day. Fucking Nina Turner brought this to my attention, actually, who I fucking hate with a passion. I cannot stand that woman, dude. Because she is such a Marxist piece of shit, honestly, dude. Because her whole entire agenda is either Marxist bullshit, commie bullshit, race baiting. Because she's a fucking grifter like that, dude. She's also an ex-state rep here in Ohio. She was also a shill for Bernie Sanders several times now, for several years now. She has also failed to run for Congress at least twice now against the same woman. I think there was another time against somebody else as well on that one. And the thing of it is, dude, what she was talking about was like Gen Z people or whatever. And she's like, oh, Gen Z people wanted to go for interviews if it doesn't tell them before the fucking interview in the actual description of the job how much they're going to be making. Or you could just go to a fucking interview and they'll tell you what the salary is going to be like 5-10 minutes in the fucking interview while you're interviewing for a fucking position. You lazy bastards. And that's what I'm saying, dude. That's why I can't stand these fucking people anymore, dude. Because it's like, it's just a bunch of entitlement bullshit across the board, dude. And then you wonder why you have, these jobs or whatever the case be that can't be filled. Or in the same vein of things, you have people that are unqualified for the position they're holding right now, dude. I mean, for God's sakes, look at fucking Pennsylvania right now with that asswipe Shapiro, dude. That motherfucking cheater there, dude. You got that dumb motherfucker claiming that under his governorship now that you're going to have people who don't even have fucking college degrees to get the experience necessary to have the position that they're going to hold, being able to hold a fucking position of power, dude, in that place. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? That is affirmative action at its worst, honestly, dude. Because you're basically telling people, we don't care if you're qualified or not. Come here and fucking go apply for this job and get it. It's like, bro, you know how you run a country into the fucking ground? By doing what this dumb motherfucker's doing in Pennsylvania. You know how you run a state into a point where it's going to have to be literally taken over by the people at some point? You be dumbass Josh Shapiro. Legitimately. So, anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. Since my internet's gone out twice now, I know there's rain coming down pretty bad. I think it's fucking up my signals and stuff like that as well. So I think I'm just going to call it a day on this one, dude. But yeah, needless to say, this last 15 minutes or so, I think was really good. And it's something that needed to be talked about here. And if I can, I'm going to try to add it to the mix of the actual title of this, but I don't think I can is what it is. So, but yeah, we might be back for another one here in the near future, though, about just the whole Tyree Nichols thing all over again, dude, and just discussing that some more a little bit. But I think we basically got the gist out of what we want to talk about here today is what it was. And it's even, I mentioned some of this stuff last night on Mad Mark's channel on that panel then. And I think it's really good, honestly. People need to talk about this stuff, dude. It's like, yeah, if you want to get seriously, this whole, I'm talking legitimately right now, dude. This goes out to the people that are protesting and stuff like that, dude. You want people like me to join your cause? You want people across the aisles to join your cause? Stop doing stupid shit. Stop blocking traffic. Stop stealing shit. And actually, legitimately have a real redress of grievances during daylight fucking hours that you can take to a state house, you can take to a fucking mayor's office, etc., and hand them. Don't be doing stupid shit at fucking night that's clearly rioting and call it protesting, dude. Don't be fucking stealing shit after dark and calling it looting. Because it's just thievery. That's all it is, dude. It's not looting, it's fucking thievery. It's fucking you being a criminal and you being just as bad as the cops that murdered that young man. And it's fucking disgusting, dude. And if you're no better than the criminals that you were trying to, get put away from murder, what the fuck, man? You should be better than those people. You should be at least a notch or two above those people. Don't stoop to their fucking level, dude. Seriously. Do not become them. Two wrongs do not make a right. Stop trying to do it like that. And it's as simple as that. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I will see y'all in the next one.